All right, we're back with the inking project again, and this time we're basing it around the word throw. And at first I thought I'd draw a picture of somebody throwing something, or throwing a weapon or a ball or something along those lines, and all those ideas seemed kind of boring or something I just really didn't want to draw or try and figure out. And after thinking about it for a while, I realized that I'd passed the most obvious choice, which was to just throw the ink itself. So we laid out like 10 pieces of paper here and got a couple of people involved. And that's India ink. It's diluted with water, so it looks black, but it's going to dry kind of a gray. And immediately when you think of this, it looks fun. It's fun. So, if you just got a piece of binder paper or something, try it out. Now, we laid out a painting drop cloth for this in our garage, which has concrete floors, so really not too much of a problem with mess there. If you got a lawn or a sidewalk or something outside, then, as long as it's washable, then it should be all right. On the grass would be perfect. And, where do you get the ink from? Well, if you're careful, you can disassemble a pen and get a little bit of ink out of it that way. Or, you can buy a bottle of ink. Or you could extract it out of a marker. There are a lot of different ways to do it. I even saw online that you can make a dark ink out of, what was it? Vinegar and salt and blackberries. Vinegar, salt, and blackberries, I believe. I haven't tried it myself, but I got curious about ink. We're using paintbrushes to kind of flick this, to throw it, I guess, on there. But, the paper is very light. If you could just dump it on there with a cup or actually throw it, see what happens. I don't know if this is any good. I don't know if Jackson Pollock is any good, but I can see now why Jackson Pollock did this. It's meditative and it says something about the act of painting or drawing itself. And it just bears repeating. It just seems like something that would be fun. Yeah, the fade into the dried parts there. I put it under a fan for a while, let it dry. And you can see that the ink turns out kind of a dark gray, and then we threw some just raw black on it at the end, so there are some black spots. And I knew I wasn't going to use all of them because we're putting it into a book, and it's only supposed to be a one-day edition, and I knew that these pieces were going to be a little bit too big, so we'd have to cut them down a bit. And in the book, I'm just sizing this up to see what a good composition would be. Even though there's just splatters, I started to see them as galaxy clusters or jellyfish underwater or something. And kind of squint your eyes and see it as if they were drawn by, by design rather than just thrown on the paper. And see how the different splats kind of arrange. I tried using rubber cement for paper like this, and it just didn't seem to work, so good old-fashioned glue stick. And again, I've been doing this a lot because this sketchbook has very cheap paper in it. I don't know why I picked this one. I guess it was just the only one I had that had the right size. think it really pays off to consider things like that, like, you know, the placement of things, the presentation of things. I'm not an incredibly detail-oriented person. You know, I don't mind a mess, but I do like, you know, things to look nice and kind of organized and designed, even if it's a mess. And it kind of fits for a drawing, if you would say, like, is this a drawing? I don't think so. Drawings are pulled. To draw is to pull. This was thrown. So, whatever. The drawing, I think, to just present it nicely, you know. I didn't want to really edit this too much. I wanted to show like every step because I'm not using a ruler or anything. This is a sketchbook entry, so sizing it up by eye. And down at the bottom, it may be unreadable, but it says throw to propel or project. And then older versions of the word as it goes back through English were to twist or to turn, or to writhe or curl. So the act of like throwing something forward and also twisting it are connected through the word in history. That's how far I went through to the word. If I get to the history of the word, you know that I'm just completely out of ideas. And at that point, I went back to throw the ink. Don't make a mess. Ink will wash off, but be clean about it. Go outside.